When Pirates of the Caribbean first hit theaters in 2003, it wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural phenomenon. With its dazzling visuals, thrilling adventure, and unforgettable characters, the film made household names of both Johnny Depp and Keira Knightley. But now, more than 2 decades later, Keira is finally breaking her silence about what it was really like working alongside Johnny Depp on set. And her revelations about his behavior, both the good and the bad, have left fans reeling. What happened behind the scenes might change how you see the entire franchise forever. When 17-year-old Keira Knightley stepped onto the set of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, she was just beginning to carve her place in Hollywood. Acting opposite Johnny Depp, who was already a seasoned star, felt like stepping into a dream. Depp's portrayal of the eccentric Captain Jack Sparrow was mesmerizing, unpredictable, funny, and unlike anything anyone had seen before. Keira often described the set as chaotic but brilliant, a blend of wild energy and artistic genius. But that same chaos, she now admits, sometimes came with unexpected tension and unpredictability that only those behind the camera truly saw. At just 17, Keira was the youngest lead on set, surrounded by experienced actors like Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Geoffrey Rush. In a recent interview, she reflected on how overwhelming that environment could be. "It was exciting, but also intimidating," she said. "Everyone was larger than life, especially Johnny." Depp's method approach to Jack Sparrow often meant he stayed in character between takes, mumbling in pirate slang and moving with his trademark swagger. For the young actress, it was fascinating, but also occasionally confusing. "You never knew if he was joking or serious," she admitted. "He kept everyone guessing, even the director." Despite the occasional chaos, the chemistry between the cast was undeniable. Keira and Johnny shared several iconic scenes, from heated confrontations to the unforgettable rum-soaked banter on that deserted island. Fans saw sparks, but Keira insists the dynamic was strictly professional. "Johnny was incredibly charismatic, and everyone felt that," she explained. "But he was also deeply focused. He had this ability to make everyone feel like part of his performance." Off camera, he was often quiet, scribbling notes in his journal or strumming a guitar between takes. To Keira, that mysterious energy made him both magnetic and unpredictable. In her latest comments, Keira also admitted that not everything on set was easy. "There were moments when Johnny's energy could shift suddenly," she shared. "He was passionate, and that sometimes came across in ways that were intense." While she clarified that he was never unkind to her personally, she noticed how his moods could affect the entire atmosphere. "He carried a lot on his shoulders," she said softly. "When he was in a good place, the set was electric. When he wasn't, you could feel it." Her words painted a picture of a man torn between creative brilliance and emotional turbulence. The pirate set was legendary for its scale, massive ships, elaborate stunts, and endless days under the scorching Caribbean sun. Keira recalled moments of exhaustion, laughter, and even fear during dangerous action scenes. But through it all, Johnny remained the unpredictable center of the storm. "He had this ability to turn chaos into art," she said. "Sometimes the director would call cut, and Johnny would just keep going, improvising entire lines that made everyone crack up." Those spontaneous moments became part of what made Jack Sparrow iconic, but they also revealed just how much control Depp wielded on set. As the franchise's success exploded, so did the rumors about Depp's eccentric behavior, about clashes with producers, and even about tension between cast members. Keira admits that she tried to stay out of the gossip, but it was impossible to ignore. "Hollywood loves to create stories," she said. "But yes, there were days when things were tense. Johnny's way of working wasn't always easy for everyone." Over time, whispers about late arrivals, creative disagreements, and behind-the-scenes drama became tabloid fodder. But Keira insists that what the public saw was only part of the truth. "There was real artistry in the madness," she said. Offset, the dynamic between Keira and Johnny was respectful but distant. "We weren't close friends," she admitted. "We had mutual admiration, but we lived very different lives." During filming breaks, Keira often spent time with Orlando Bloom or the crew, while Depp retreated to his trailer or spent hours perfecting Jack Sparrow's quirks. "He was an enigma," she said. "You could never quite figure him out." Yet, she also credited him for teaching her invaluable lessons about confidence and commitment. "Watching him work taught me to trust my instincts," she said. "Even when it felt chaotic, it was inspiring." As Pirates became one of the highest-grossing franchises in cinema history, both stars' lives changed dramatically. For Keira, it meant skyrocketing fame and an unrelenting spotlight. For Johnny, it brought both global adoration and personal scrutiny. By the third film, things felt heavier, Keira recalled. There was a lot of pressure, and you could feel how fame was affecting him. She didn't elaborate, but her tone hinted at concern. Johnny was trying to hold on to who he was, even as the world kept pulling at him, she said. "It's hard to stay grounded when everyone around you treats you like a legend." When asked why she chose to speak about her experience now, Keira said it was time for reflection. "I've carried those memories for over 20 years, she shared. "And I wanted to tell the truth, that it was both magical and complicated." Her words come at a time when Johnny Depp continues to rebuild his reputation following years of legal battles and media controversy. Keira didn't take sides, but she made it clear that she remembers him as an extraordinary artist who sometimes got lost in the performance. It was a delicate balance of honesty and compassion, the kind only time could bring. For years, Keira avoided interviews about Pirates, often redirecting questions or offering brief, polite answers. But fans always wondered what she really thought of her co-star. "I stayed silent out of respect," she admitted. "It wasn't my story to tell back then." Now, older and more reflective, she says she understands both the brilliance and the burden that came with Depp's fame. "He was trying to carry an empire on his shoulders," she said. "And that kind of pressure can change anyone." Her comments, though measured, hinted at empathy, not judgment. Looking back, Keira says her time on Pirates shaped her career in ways she never expected. "It taught me resilience," she said. "It taught me that even in the most unpredictable environments, you can still find your voice." She acknowledged that working with someone as complex as Johnny Depp was both challenging and inspiring. "He taught me to take risks," she said, "and to never play it safe." Despite the ups and downs, she remains grateful for the experience, calling it a chaotic kind of magic that can't be recreated. Today, both Keira Knightley and Johnny Depp have moved far beyond the world of Pirates of the Caribbean, but their performances remain legendary. Fans still revisit those films for the humor, the heart, and the undeniable chemistry that defined a generation of moviegoers. And while Keira's latest revelations shed light on the more human, imperfect side of that legacy, they also remind us that art is often born from chaos. "It was wild, unpredictable, and unforgettable," she said. "But that's what made it real." In the end, her words don't tarnish the memory of Pirates. They make it more honest, more human, and more unforgettable.